Are you ready for this? Let's do it. Welcome to the Manifestation Queen podcast, your filter-free and uncensored source for all things manifestation. I'm Cassie McKenzie, and I'm a manifestation expert. I'm here to raise your vibes and your cash flow. Listen, I've manifested everything from a beer, a six-figure salary, my husband, and homes, and more. And I am spilling everything I can on this podcast so you can learn how you can do the same. The more fun I have, the more manifestations appear, and the more money I make. So it's my obsession to show you how you can be, do, and have anything you want. So join the movement to raise your income and your impact on this world. Become a manifestation queen and create a life that feels like a vacation. Let's do the damn thing. Queen Podcast. Welcome back, guys. I'm so excited you're here. And today's episode is actually the recording from Jocelyn Vance's appearance in the Business Manifestival. So all of this happened in my private group, The Manifestation Queens, on Facebook. And this is where I do a lot of trainings, a lot of free, events. I did a 13-day extravaganza of like business and manifestation all rolled into one. And I really want to do another one coming up here soon. But in the meantime, I am gifting you guys with all of the recordings from each of these episodes. And I'm so pumped to be doing this because I'll tell you what, every single speaker was so amazing. And I look up to all of them as like super big experts in their field. So Jocelyn brought the house down, was one of the most popular episodes of the entire 13 days. And she was talking about attracting ideal clients to you. So if you're a business owner, you're looking to have a business, or you're just even like, this can actually apply to you if you are in any sort of job where you work face-to-face with clients too. So I hope you enjoy this. If you really love the podcast, please go ahead and leave a 5-star rating and a review, or just a rating. Either one, they all work great. And I'd super love that, because then other people can find us and take advantage of all this amazing content that we have, all the episodes, all the good stuff that, just keeps coming. So coming up in the Manifestation Queen world, I actually have a few big things coming. So right now I am talking about Bombshell, which is my course if you're looking to start a business and get it online in the next 30 days and make it magnetic so people turn their heads and notice you, and make the content part easy, make it fun, make it like totally you. So if you're into that, then definitely check out Bombshell. We are halfway through the Manifestation Queen Academy, and I'm so excited. Everybody's been having such like really great aha moments and breakthroughs, and really getting down to what's been holding them back in certain areas of their life and feeling more empowered than ever. And then also coming up, I have an Instagram course that's called Internet Famous. So if Instagram, like, let me tell you straight, Instagram totally used to be like one of the platforms that I hated. I hated going there. I hated doing anything there. And now I absolutely love it. I totally get it now. It's totally fun. And I am going to take the overwhelm out for you so that you can actually go and use Instagram as a platform to gain more clients, have more messages in your DM saying, oh my God, where do I pay? How do I sign up? How do I buy your products? And, really make it so it's a fun place for you to go to interact with clients and have them DMing you and have sales, in your DMs all the time. So this is something that's really changed for me. And I am passing on everything that I have learned to you in my true Manifestation Queen style. So be sure to follow along. If you're interested in this, you can reach out to me. I'm at XO Cassie McKenzie on the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the Pinterest and all the places. So without any further nonsense from me, here you go. Here's Jocelyn's recording this is Jocelyn Vance in the Business Manifestival. Thank you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Today, though, we are kicking off pretty much week 2 with just an amazing human and an amazing topic. And I think it's perfect for this time because we started off with Stephanie last Monday, and it was a lot of strategy with, mindset as well. But then we went into a lot of the like manifestation topics, and like, there's not a whole lot of strategy behind, taking things easy and going with the flow, right? Like it just is an embodiment, right? So now we're getting back into a blend of both, kind of like how Stephanie did last week with like, there is strategy too, attracting ideal clients, but I can't wait for Jocelyn to get into the rest of it, and as we explore over the next hour with this exciting topic, because I think a lot of people struggle with like, they have an idea for a business, and then if you're like me, your next thought was, but who the hell is going to hire me? Like, who is going to hire me and how do they find out about me? And how do I find out about them? It's just an ongoing, like, what in the world's going on? So, but before we get into that, I want to welcome you guys. I'm Cassie McKenzie. If this is the first time you're catching the Business Manifestival or anything in the Badass Manifestation Queen, a manifestation expert and life coach, and I help women to develop lives that they love, filled with extra money, of course, and love, and all the awesome things. So, and especially freedom and travel. So I'm real big on travel. I'm real big on freedom, and we will get into that later on in this, as well as if you were welcomed into the group, you saw that that's one of the things I ask. So, but the way this has worked is every night, we have a new topic. With the exception of tomorrow, we have two ladies coming on. So we have Lindsay Dam coming on at 5 to talk about how to quantum shift your reality and your business to attract, like manifest things super quickly. And she's an energy expert. I just over the past week did, I think, 4 of her energy healings, and I can't even begin to tell you what I manifested almost $3,000 the first time. And then today I got this like inkling that something I'd thrown away was actually worth a lot of money. And it ended up like me digging through the trash to find a gift card that had money on it that I thought was just one my kids were playing with. So it's crazy how all this works out. And then Cara Baroni's going to come on tomorrow at 6:30. She's actually in Australia. And so that's why this week is going to be a little different with the timing on some of the nights. But Kara's going to talk to you about how to start a business while working a 9-to-5 still, because she is a LinkedIn, she works at LinkedIn. She's worked for them for a long ass time, but she started her business while working for them. And that's what she helps women do while juggling your 9-to-5. And then Wednesday, we have the amazing Ashley Brianna Eve, and you're going to want to go to mybodygraph.com, I think it is, and go get your human design profile and have that ready for Wednesday, because you are going to want to know, you're going to want to have the answers. You're going to know what the hell she's talking about, because this is one of the things that I am becoming like more and more obsessed and interested in is human design. And she's going to lay it all out on the line for you, but with the added bonus of finding out how to attract abundance using your human design. So you're not going to want to miss that either. And then we have the Namaste Babe on Thursday, Kiki Yura coming on to talk about NLP, how to use NLP and emotional manifesting. And then to round out the week, Kiara King with womb healing and sexual energy and manifesting. She is, oh my God. Kiara has created more breakthroughs in our group of 6-7 women in our mastermind just by leaving just comments on the thread for us that we're like total life shifts that people have been into their mid-40s before they were able to make happen. And it's just so amazing what she's done. So you're going to definitely want to get on that. And then the last day we round out with the exponential wealth queen herself, Melanie Ann Layer. So she'll be calling in from Hawaii. And if you want to know how to access all the wealth vibes, like she is, like queen doesn't even do it. Like what would if you could take a queen and multiply it times infinity, what would that be? That would be Melanie Ann Layer. So definitely we have it stacked up this week. But with that being said, I want to go ahead and introduce Jocelyn. And Jocelyn, it's so funny when we were first introduced through one of Melanie's programs, and it was interesting because I was like, wait a minute, like what is going on here? Like, you look very familiar. And like your last name looks really, really familiar too. And lo and behold, I ended up getting my NLP practitioner certification with her husband this time last year. And I was like, this is such a small world. Like, what crazy stuff. Like, who ever does this? But Jocelyn has a master's degree in nutrition education, and she actually started as a middle school teacher. She was teaching middle school nutrition in the public school system, but then she had that pull, like we all do, knowing that she was meant for more after a divorce and then being a single mom, just drowning in debt. And that created so many awakenings for her. So she decided to manifest a change in her life, and which is her soulmate, the guy I just talked to you about, unless there's another one that she has, but I don't think so, because they have a course called Conscious Coupling, and I'm pretty sure I'd know if she had another soulmate besides Jim. But to each his own, right? There's no judgments here in the Manifestation Queen. Alrighty. So now in 2 years, after coming from network marketing, she's built a thriving business and tripled her teaching income and retired from teaching 20 years early. I wish you met my dad like 20 years ago, because he still has 1 year left and wants to rip every single last hair that he has on his head out.
Oh, yes.
So, welcome to
Yes, thank you. It is. I still, like all the teachers, I send them so much love and vibes, because I have no idea. Even since I left, I'm like, there's been so many changes, and I'm just like, there's no way.
Totally. Yeah, I know the principal at his school is just next level, I think, just crazy. And
Yeah,
I just cannot wait to get out. So, but thank goodness you did. Now you can teach everybody else how to do the same. Get their freedom.
That's the goal. That is the goal, right? Find that purpose, find, where you're really meant to be impacting in the world. Not to say teachers don't have a massive impact, because they absolutely do. My path was just a little bit different. So, so it's like finding your path, your impact, your purpose, and really maximizing your potential. And so that's kind of what I'm all about.
Yeah, because this is definitely a teaching role too. As a coach, obviously, there's a lot of things that blend into where your career was, but you probably find that you have a lot more control on the day-to-day and how much you can actually impact people. Because I know, like, a lot, especially in the corporate world and as teachers, there's so many rules and just regulations put in by people who aren't even in touch with the end user. Like in my pharma background, people like the people in marketing, there was probably 2,000 to 3,000 reps on one of the sales forces I was on. So how in the hell do they know what the customer needs? Like, they just had 15 doctors that decided they wanted to come to Hawaii and fill out a survey. Like, what do those doctors have so much free time for? Like, they're obviously not giving the right answers.
Yeah, it's so funny, because I literally, in my teaching, my classroom was like the hub for all, like, I was basically coaching like all the teachers, and then all the students. Like, I was like the mentor, the coach, really, and wound up even getting like some backlash for students being too comfortable talking to me, so it was just really icky. So, but I really did both. And in that space, I coached too. I coached softball and basketball for a couple of seasons while I was there. But it's a different, it's like transitioning your gifts and moving in more alignment with actually what I feel like I'm really meant to be doing in the world. So that served its time. It served its space. I'm very thankful for all of that. And, it made me who I am today, and that's important. So
yes, totally. So when you were first starting out as a coach, I mean, I know you came from network marketing, but even that's different than starting your own, coaching business. So how much did it weigh on you about how to find, attract new clients or start a business that would, not only last for a long time and feed your family on a monthly basis, but like bring in consistent income so that you not only are of service to your clients, but you're of service to your family and your community and to your own future.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I did start in network marketing, which gave me a little bit of that background knowledge of attracting, ideal customers, ideal business partners. Really, in network marketing, to be successful, you have to build a thriving team. You had to attract people that wanted to, build the business with you. And so I started really there with a lot of it, and really building out my own personal brand, even in network marketing. And I don't know if we have any network marketers in this group, but really like focusing on building your own personal brand so that you attract people to your business. And then as far as transitioning out of network marketing, like the foundation of when I started that, I had already experienced several things online, but then it was like transitioning from health and wellness, which I was in a health and wellness space before, and then moving and transitioning that to launch my coaching business. And it was just kind of like that space of like transitioning your audience. And it takes time when you're first starting out. I think that's one of the things that's so like a misperception in some ways, is that you're just going to start and make six figures, in your business. And can that happen? Absolutely. Like alignment, it's all about alignment, right? And that space and time. But so many of us start from that space of needing to grow and needing to show up and needing to really nail down what we're doing and who we're serving and why we're doing it, and develop the energetics around it so that you wind up actually attracting the ideal people that you're meant to work with.
Yeah.
When
you say that, it brings to mind like the Slay coach, the Chardonnay and Slay, Jamie King. So she had a big following, I guess. Well, I remember hearing about her starting out, and like within 6 months, her story is that she grew her business to 6 figures. And I knew somebody who had been coached by her, and she was like, yeah, well, she had a big community from like the health coaching she used to do. But like, you can have a big following that still loves, that they're inspired by you, but doesn't necessarily feel compelled to pay you. They may, hire somebody else instead, what is the difference in your mind between what attracts people who are inspired by you versus people who are empowered to hire you?
Yeah, so I always talk about really embodying what your message is, and really understanding yourself, and that you're in the right space of really helping the people that you're meant to be helping. So like really honing in on your gifts, your expertise, who you truly are. Because I think so often we get in this comparison game, or we're like looking at someone else and we're like, oh, like I can do that, or I know that. Or, even in network marketing, like there's so many like push of what you should do or how you should build the business. And I think it's really getting real and raw with ourselves, and like looking at us, looking at our unique message, our gifts, because yes, there's going to be a ton of people that could potentially work with coaches. And there may be another person that's doing similar things as you're doing, but we're all very unique, and we have our own unique gifts and stories and expertise that kind of, what I call, creates like a brand that's like so magnetic for a specific person. And it's really recognizing that we each kind of bring something different. There's a little bit different flavor to each coach that shows up. And to attract your ideal person, it's really like taking all those pieces and putting them together to make this like beautiful, I use a triangle because it's just like, I'll call it the 3 pillars of your brand, or the 3 core messages of what you stand for. But it's like bringing the beautiful picture together so that you're just an ideal match for somebody who's really desiring to work with you because of who you are, because of what you offer. And you're going to understand them. They're going to understand you. And we also attract who we are. So there's that component to it as well. But if we're confusing, or if we're not authentic, if we don't really understand ourselves and like our full unique preposition, story, expertise that comes and brings it all together, and we're showing up, from a space of out of alignment, then we don't see that we attract as clients as well as if we really understand who we truly are, every core piece of our unique expertise, our gifts, and we bring those together in like a beautiful package where someone's like, oh my God, this is my person. Like, this is who I really want to work with. Like, they're speaking to my soul, they're speaking my language. It's just that trust factor. It's like energetics and how you're showing up that just, the person just feels it on like a soul level.
That reminded me of what, like, I remember in, we both took the program Cash through Melanie. And one of the things that she says is, you are good enough for who needs you right now. Like, you don't have to try to be that person who's 10 steps ahead of you to try, like, fit yourself in that bucket that's way ahead of you. Like, you are exactly how you are right now is good enough for people who really need your help currently.
Yeah, 100%. And it's really like understanding that, because everyone may have like a big vision of what they want to do, or maybe there's like pieces and they're trying to figure out like how those pieces really fit together to be so powerful and magnetic. There's so many avenues we can take, and maybe you have 100 things in your mind about ultimately what you want to do or how you want to serve your ideal client, but it's really figuring out and honing in on what right now, where am I at right now, and how can I truly serve this person at the max level. And really what it comes down to, honestly, a lot of times is, and what I see with myself as I've grown through this journey and with so many clients, is really like looking at the belief systems behind everything that you're doing. Obviously ourselves, right? I mean, it's an energetic, like the confidence in ourselves as coaches and as light workers and as people who are showing up to serve. But it's also looking at like the belief systems you have in everything that you're surrounded with and how you're showing up. And this either makes you in alignment and magnetic, or it can be off a little bit. It's like that, the radio station, you're trying to tune into the exact station so you can get that clear picture, that clear message, that you can hear it really well. And sometimes we're just like 1 point off or a point this way. And it's really like looking at the full picture. It is, I know we have some on here in this manifesto talking about strategy, and we have some talking about the energetics and the soul part. I really think it has to be a very combination of both. And with even some of the energetics behind it really being such a powerful space, because if you don't have a belief system in yourself first and foremost, but also what you're offering and what the message that you're standing by, and what you're saying and what you're promoting or what you're selling, and if you don't have that core, like at the soul level, not even at a conscious level, like of feeling like you should be selling this or you should be offering this, but like if it's not aligned with like your truth, like your most authentic self and what you really truly believe, your beliefs, your values, what you stand for, what you're embodying, if there's something that's off, it's almost like, that radio station, there's just a little bit off, and you just need to turn the dial just a little bit more to get super laser clear and focused. And I think that's really like one of the biggest pieces why I see so many people not really being a magnet or attracting their ideal clients, is because they're just off a little bit in whether their belief system in any of those areas, or they just don't have that clear message yet on exactly, their uniqueness and their expertise and their impact.
Totally. Yeah. And I mean, this goes for whether you're a coach or you have a different type of business, like you might, if you have a graphic design or you're a VA, and, if you're off on who you want to work with just by that little bit, right? Like there comes the difference between being so desperate to have clients that you'll work with anybody to realizing how important that alignment is from the beginning. Like I think some of us learn lessons in different ways. Some of us, the clients come super easy at the beginning, and then we're like, oh yeah, this is fine, I can just do anything. And then, there's lessons learned from that, or it's a struggle to get them. And then that's the lesson. And are you really aligned with what you're selling? Or are you just doing it because somebody else you watched on a webinar told you to do, this strategy? in order to get, your first, 6 figures in your business or whatever, like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's so much around that, right? We see that everywhere. It's like the thing, like, that language and that goal. And sometimes it's like, let's take a step back and let's really focus on what we're truly meant to be doing. What's our true core unique message that we need to be in alignment with and belief with, so that then we actually impact and serve. Because if we're trying to do things and our focus and our intention is around, okay, I'm going to do this because I think this can make the most money, or I'm going to do this because this is what so-and-so's doing and I can do that too, and I have these gifts, it's like really honing in on our own unique message to be able to share it in a very powerful way. Because if it's yours and you've experienced it and now you're embodying it, you bring all those pieces together of who you are, your personality, what you stand for. I mean, there's so much around it that then it just becomes this like power, that people are just like, oh my gosh, like, yes, give me more of this person. Because it comes across like authentic, it comes across confident. The energy is just different, rather than, your focus and intention being on, just I should be doing this, or this sounds good, or I'm good at this, so then I can offer this. But does it light you the fuck up? Like, does it like light you up? Is it your heart and soul that you're meant to be, like that, just that fire that you're meant to be serving in that space? And it is a journey to find that out. Like, I know we probably all have worked with maybe a client before, or a business partner before, somebody where it didn't feel aligned. And that's always a learning lesson, to know that you're just a little off on your messaging, or on your energy, or on what you're attracting.
Right. Totally. Yeah. And every lady, and part of my, out of the corner of my eye, I'm seeing all the messages from Victoria, and I see Sasha just joined, and
oh yay, hey girls,
yeah, and Janika joined, and Shannon, and everybody's been talking about authenticity, and definitely like just being yourself, and that's the biggest thing, and sometimes it's the hardest thing, and there's no strategy around it. Isn't that ironic that like the number one thing everybody has said has made them successful is something you can't quantify, you can't package up and sell? Like I can't hire a VA to make me be more, make me be more accountable to being authentic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I think it's a journey of like getting to know yourself more, and that's like in one of my programs, that's the whole focus. Because it's like, until you really navigate through that, and it's like digging deep, it's digging through like the surface level, digging through the consciousness, and we're really digging into the questions of like bringing out things. It's like, this is my real, like, this is my vulnerability, this is my truth, this is what I've been through, this is my story. Because your story, they always say like facts tell, stories sell, and it's like so true it's so cliche, right? But it's so true in the sense of, because of what we go through and the valleys we go through and things we go through, they actually wind up being our power and our story, and the ways that we're meant to give back to the planet, and the ways we're meant to up-level the consciousness of people that now maybe are behind us, or are going through that. And now, because we've gone through it and we've experienced all that, now it's like, it's our turn to give back. And in doing that, we all start just lighting people up, and people just start like really stepping into who they truly are, who they're meant to be in this world. And in doing that, it lights up. It like lights up. It's like the domino effect. And it's like one person, wakes up and they really step into who they truly are and what they're meant to be doing here. And then it just sends off this domino effect, that just a ripple that affects everybody around them.
Yeah. Well, sort of like that, the meditation today with Deepak Chopra, it was expanding the consciousness, right? So like we have to expand the consciousness of our own self self in order to, you know, be more wealth conscious and more, you know, success conscious and client conscious and all of that, right?
Yes, yes, it's so powerful. I was just reading the comments too. I love these girls on here. Like I just, it's so awesome. So yeah, it is. It's like when we like own our light, like
Mhm.
own who we truly are. Even the dark spots and the spaces that, you know, maybe we feel like we aren't comfortable necessarily sharing 100%, or the things that we feel like, you know, are our story, but it's hard to be vulnerable in that space. But
Yeah.
there's so much power
You're
in
afraid to
really
be
owning.
judged, right? Like you're
Yeah.
afraid. What's the thing that's, you know, most people are afraid of, especially putting themselves out there. They're afraid they're going to be judged, you know?
Yep.
Like it's it's so annoying, but it's so like natural. You know what
It is. I am like, I was for the, and this is like some of the work I did probably in the past like 6 months to 8 months immensely was this, you know, thing of like having to be, desiring to be liked and desiring to be understood, and wanting to be seen for who I truly was in my heart and circumstances and situations. And it wasn't until I really awakened to releasing some of that and recognizing like who the hell I am and the light that I'm meant to share and all the story that I bring with me, all those things are like my power. They're gifts that now I can look back and be like, man,
Mhm.
like thank the heavens, you know, that this happened to me, because now, because of that, I am so much more stable in who I am, confident in who I am. I've gone through things that now I know is
Mhm.
how I'm supposed to help others, because you start seeing it, like you attract who you are. And
Yeah.
so you start seeing, you're like, oh, okay, this is why I went through this, because
Mhm.
now this is how I'm impacting other people, and this is how I'm guiding and leading other people.
Yeah, yeah. And let's talk for a second because, okay, one part about attracting clients is you got to know who you are. You've got to know who you want to work with, but also you've got to be comfortable being visible and you have to be comfortable with putting yourself out there. And I was in the car today, actually. Um, and I was waiting. I was actually at the playground, but Stella was still sleeping. So Liam was playing. So I was sitting in because it was so nice. Like, you guys are going to want to kill me because I'm going to say it was like 70 degrees and I had a sweatshirt on as we were at the playground down by one of the local marinas. And it was just so pretty today. But like, I opened the glove compartment and there like a note came out and it was like a journal thing that I had written and it was about being visible and it was something along the lines of like, my social media account is not mine anymore. People need to hear what I have to say. And who the fuck cares if they get upset? Who the fuck cares? Like, I literally wrote that out like 10 different times and I was like, yeah, yeah, like that's my little fortune cookie of trash in my car today. I'll take it. Like, this is good.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
And it goes so much with this. So, and also, I'll tell you what, like, I used to have really bad acne and I had no idea where, and it came out of nowhere about like a year and a half ago. And I don't tell this story very often, but it goes along with this. I'm going somewhere. I will land the plane soon. Okay. um, so I didn't know what it was, and I go to the dermatologist for my moles like every 6 months, and she had given me retin A, but I had used it and it made my skin, it made it like tender. And so I told her that last July, and she was like, oh, I think you might have rosacea. And so she was like, here, fill these two cream, you know, this prescription, whatever. I started looking into it. I won't gross you out with the details, but that night I went back and I was at my parents' house and I actually watched one of Melanie's videos. Like, she had a live stream going on that night. And I was like, I'm just going to sit here after my parents go to bed and watch this. And I was like, I just need to start with a 30-day live challenge. And I'm going to do this and go live. So people need to meet me. They need to know what's going on. Literally, as soon as I started that and as soon as I decided that I was comfortable being visible, all of the acne cleared up. It was crazy. Like, every single bit of it did. Like, I mean, I used to wear foundation and you could still tell that I had it. Like, it would just keep coming back and coming back. And it was crazy how it did that. But like, as soon as I made that decision that I didn't give a fuck if people like judged me, or if my mom or my dad watched it and didn't comment because they were creepy lurkers on my Facebook, and that eventually once I have like the success and all that shit, then they'll be like, oh, we should probably pay attention to your little teeny like passion project, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is cool. I got this. And literally like a month later, it was totally clear. I never wore any, foundation or anything really that much after. It was 86 degrees here, Cassie. That's what Victoria accused me of lying about the weather.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah. So,
It's so crazy that the stuff like that happens because, and like, it's always, from what I have like really learned to embrace and embody, is when we start rising and when we start up leveling and stepping into our gifts, these resistances come in. It's like they come in, whether it be something on our face that, when you're really wanting to, show up, or something starts happening. And it's like those moments that you break through that resistance. It's like the upper limit problem, once you break through that resistance, then it's like once you come out of the comfort zone, you come out of that fear, you break through that, then you start seeing like momentum, and you start seeing things just start coming and flowing to you. And I think that's where a lot of
what also happened then, because of the acne, this was like in late July of last year. By October, when I went in, because it was like, or it was September, something like I had a little spot here that like wouldn't go away, and that ended up being cancer. I had to have surgery on my face, and I had it before, and I was like, this is like another up leveling. Like I finally gotten comfortable being, totally out there. And then I actually did live streams with a Band-Aid on my face. And if you'd have told me a year prior to that I would do that, I would have told you, that's nice, I'll have what you're having. But,
Yes, absolutely. And that's what I think we see so much of, and where so many people stop and they like put the threshold on, whether the fear comes in and they allow the fear to hold them back, or these little resistances start happening in our lives. For me, for the longest time, it was like my personal life just started like, things just started going crazy, that as soon as I started to up level in my business, or I started to like do something that was really scary, or really put the next step out there, that up level, it's like, all right, well, we're going to like give you this like curveball, and my universe is like, okay, we'll see if you're really ready for this up level, and if you're really ready to step in and own who you are, own your light, share your gifts and your passion. And, it takes you out of the game if you don't just keep going through that resistance to really show up. So,
oh my God, I love it. Yes, absolutely. So like, because I think that's there's nothing that you have to do. There's no thing you have to do to attract clients to you, except like you have to be seen, like you don't have to do live streams. You don't have to do Insta stories, but you have to put yourself out there at some level, or else nobody knows. Like sales is sacred. It's the only way people find out about you. And they're the people that if they don't find out about you, they just continue leading the same life that they were before, that they think is shitty. So they're still living a shitty life, not getting any further.
Well, and it's sharing your voice. And I always, like, when I help clients through this process, it's like, what really is your like zone of genius? Like, where do you really thrive in showing up? Like, some people really love doing video. They're good on video. They thrive on video. Their energy is really good on video. And some people are really great writers, and they really thrive in like their long form. Or so you can show up. There's so many places that you really can show up to attract your ideal client, but it's more around what's your energy? Like, who are you being when you show up in that space? Because if you're energetics is off and you're showing up because you have to, or you feel like this is the thing I have to do to attract clients, then you aren't going to. It's just not going to happen. Now, is that to say that you should allow like blocks and barriers to get in your way of stretching yourself and stepping out of your fear? Like, I know so many people are like, oh, I'm not good on live. And it's not that they're not good on live, it's just a confidence thing. So sometimes it is that resistance. It is like going out of your, your fear and going into, or going out of your comfort zone and really stepping into that fear space. But sometimes it's just like I'm really powerful in this area, and recognizing and understanding that, and have an intent behind everything you're doing to attract clients from an understanding of yourself, and also pushing yourself out of your comfort zone to do things that maybe you're not really comfortable doing, because that's where the magic sauce is. It's like, I know, and I don't know if you know Angie Lee, but one of her big things is like ready as a lie. And I really feel like that's so like true. Like we're never really, you build confidence over doing something many times. It's not like you just all of a sudden, you know, wake up and you're confident in a certain area. But as you show up and as you continue to go and you show up and you share your gifts and you show up and you share your story and you get a little bit more comfortable and vulnerable every step you take, then all of a sudden the confidence starts building. You start, you know, getting momentum, and there's a lot to do, you know, with momentum and confidence and the belief system behind what you're doing. And I think that's where I see so many disconnects of people really attracting their ideal clients, is because they're showing up from a space of not truly believing in, and they're not aligned with what ultimately they're trying to show up to do and sell, or in their offers. Like their offers aren't really matching like that beautiful sweet spot of what they truly can be gifting their ideal clients. And so that's a huge piece. And also just knowing, like really truly knowing who your ideal client is, because so often we may just throw stuff out there that we want to talk about or that we feel inspired in that day to talk about. And that's great. Like all that is really, really powerful. But it's like really like doing some of the strategy work around who is my ideal client, and really understanding who that person is, and understanding what they want and what they're desiring and what their like pains are. And not that you can speak on desires or you can speak on pains. I know there's so many, you know, different opinions about how you should create your content out there. But for me, it's both. I mean, it's understanding your client's desires and what they really want in their life and what they're desiring and what they're sitting at their house thinking about, you know, why they want to hire somebody. Like what are they really desiring? And then also like, what's keeping them up at night? What's like paining them so much that they desire change in their life and they desire to up level and rise in a whole new way? And why would they seek you to help them and guide them through that? And it's really understanding them to the core, so that then you can create really powerful content, really powerful offers that are just like so juicy and so powerful that your ideal client is like, like give me more. That's where I feel like, you know, that sweet spot is.
Yeah. So what would you tell somebody? Oh wait, I'm hearing an echo. Do you hear an echo? Maybe it's on my side.
No, I don't hear one.
Okay. Let me close this. Okay. I don't hear it anymore. Good. We proceed.
Yeah.
So what would you tell somebody who's like, that sounds great, Jocelyn, but I have no idea. I have no freaking clue where to start or what my ideal client would look like. You know, I hear this a lot very often too. Yeah. And I felt that way. Let me be honest. Like every single time I make a change, I'm like, I don't know. Can you tell me who my ideal client is? And then I'll go with it. But like, it seems like a big daunting task, you know?
It does. And I think there's a lot of opinions on having a specific niche and having, you know, a statement that it says, I work with so-and-so, and having like all this pressure on figuring that out exactly. And for me, and what I really coach and teach on is not so much that, because, you know, I'll be honest, like that held me back. Like the pressure that I had to have that held me back so much for so long that I literally was about to like rip my hair out. Like it was so daunting. I don't think it's that at all. And now like what I really lead clients through is figuring out you, like, you know yourself. If you really dive in, like those deep questions, it's questions we don't sometimes know to ask ourselves, to really pull out the message and like the core of like who we truly are, and then how it all fits to how we serve people. And it's for me, it's really like, it's deep questioning. And so I do like journaling prompts or like really powerful questions on digging out some of those parts that we don't really recognize, that we are, just because it is who we are, right? Like it's hard to consciously like take ourselves out of our body and say, okay, well, this is something I'm either naturally good at, or I don't know how I do it, I just do it. But there is a process. There is a process that we have around what we can really offer people. And it's digging through that and really putting it together. In my course, Soulful Impact, I really take like every piece and create 3 pillars of like the core messaging and branding, and then really take that and create the content around like what you're offering, and really diving into your ideal client and who they are and what they want and what they desire and what their pain points are. If I were to give a suggestion on this live to really dive in, I would say write out 3 versions of yourself. Like, you know, from front to start, back and you know, back again, like as much as you can, like write out 3 versions of yourself that you've either like gone through, or now you've grown through, or you're embodying, and then write it out extensively, and then give that, you know, person a name, and then read over them and say, which one of these do I feel right now I'm most embodying, like I'm fully through, like I don't cry about it anymore. I mean, you still have emotion around it, but you're fully embodiment of it. You feel confident in helping guide someone through it. And then which one lights me the fuck up? Like which one like really lights me the fuck up? Like I look at it and I read it and I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm so powerful in this space. Like I really want to help this person. Like I can read it on paper and get excited. Like this person really, like I know if they came into my world right now, like I could massively shift them. And you just have that power, and you have that passion, you have that confidence. And then take that one and then say, okay, this is my ideal client right now. Can it change 6 months from now, a year from now? Can you transition? Can you add in? Of course. But it's like that idea holds so many people back from just starting.
Yeah, totally.
And, yeah. Like, so it's just start with that, roll with it, really get to know that girl or that man or whoever it is, you know, really get to know them inside and out, so that you're creating content where you're actually speaking to the results that you're going to give, and you're creating very powerful content around who they are, what they desire, what result they're really craving, so that you can create a really powerful offer that they're like, I want to buy this. Like, this is my next thing I have to have.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so important. That, I mean, that's the best way I've ever heard it, you know, it's described. So you're definitely the expert there. I love it.
Yeah, it is. It's powerful. And I feel like because I got stuck in that place for so long, and like over and over worked myself through it.
Yeah.
When I came on the other side and really birthed my brand that I have now and who I really serve now, it's like I see all that, and I went through all that. You know, it's like what we go through now, we guide people through, right? So it's like I do feel super expert because I went through that shit for so long. You know, like spinning my wheels and like, who is my niche and who's my ideal client and how do I attract them to me? And then, you know, came on the other side of that. And now just a magnet for, you know, that soulmate person that you feel when you talk to them, you're like, you get that feeling like, oh my God, I know, like, it's so obvious that I manifested this person. This is a soul contract, that this is a soulmate that I called in, because I know I'm meant to help them on like the highest levels. When you start feeling that about your clients, you know, you're in that sweet spot because you can see it, and it's just, you're a magnet for them.
Yeah.
And it's really powerful.
Yeah. Because all this goes back to manifestation, and that, you know, if things aren't appearing, you know, if they aren't materializing into your reality and you're doing all the work, or you know, think you're doing all the work, then usually it's because there's some sort of resistance built up there. Right. So like, you're either afraid to make the list, right? Make the 3 people, because it sounds like it's a big task, and that's the excuse we use, right, on the front end. But really it's because, oh my God, like, do I really have to sit there and think about myself in 3 different ways? Oh my God, where do I even start? You know, like the perfectionism comes in, and then like the motivation goes out the door, and I'm like, oh, wait, I think Below Deck's on now. I'm just going to go watch that and then I'll figure it out. Right. And
Girl.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then you're like, okay, 2 months later, how come my business isn't more successful? How come my clients aren't coming in? And it's like, sometimes there are things that we resist doing or don't feel like doing or don't want to do, and that has nothing to do with the feminine masculine flow at all. Like there are some things that are necessary that you've got to, you know, nail down in order to have that confidence there, so that when somebody messaged, like I remember the first time somebody bought one of my courses, I actually, like, my stomach dropped because I was like, oh, like, what are they gonna think? Is it good enough? You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
oh wait, oh my God, I can't even believe that's the first thought that I have. Like, what in the hell? What's wrong with me? You know, but I believed in the course, I believed in it all, but like there's so much mindset work. There's so much digging that we have to do to get totally comfortable with all aspects, whether it's attracting clients, even getting paid by them can freak you out sometimes, as you know, my example
Yes.
just now, you know.
There's
So
so many like moving pieces. I
Mhm.
saw a question asked on social media the other day. I was like, why do you feel like there's so many coaches, there's so many people in this industry now, and you know there's a small percentage that are, you know, 7-8 figure earners, even 6 figure earners. And my true opinion is that everyone is there because there's so many pieces to this, and there's so much of who we are and our involvement that is going to create our reality and our business and who we do attract or don't. It's a continuous growth space and a continuous journey. Evolution of ourselves is then an evolution of our business. So
Yeah.
who we are ultimately is what our business is. And because, you know, I know you with, you know, you have the NLP as well, but it's
Yeah.
really looking at what are those unconscious blocks and patterns that now we're seeing manifest in our business, and therefore it's not growing like we want, or we can see, but you can't see something that doesn't exist within you. So that's a really powerful thing to recognize. If you're seeing something in somebody else, it resides in you somewhere, somehow. And now you just have to evolve through the stuff, the shit, you know, the unconscious stuff that we don't really consciously recognize, to be able to be in alignment. And so many times we pull that energetic, you know, cord before we really start gaining the momentum that we need to start attracting who we're meant to attract, because we get in our head or we allow those limiting beliefs and blocks to stop us. Like when you're selling a course, you know, it's like right before it's about to launch, you know, the mind's just going, all those blocks and the things that are unconscious, even the stories we tell ourselves, the things we focus on, then wind up, you know, showing their head. And energetically that pulls the plug. Energetically, that, you know, ideal client that we want to attract, it actually repels them. And so it's really being super conscious and awakened ourselves, and the involvement of ourselves is going to be the involvement of our business. So I think everybody needs a coach, right? Like, cause you can't, a coach is going to move and guide you and ask you questions and see things that you physically can't consciously. Like, it's not there until you, like, someone asks you that one question, you're like, holy shit, like I didn't even know that was in me, and I didn't even know that was what was blocking me or resisting me. And it's super powerful to do that work, because then you get in alignment with your, you know, with your ideal client, and therefore you can attract them so much more powerfully from an energy standpoint.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love it. Oh, it's so good. So perfect. Well, as we're wrapping up, I can't believe like almost an hour has gone by already. I don't know about you guys.
Like, what happened?
Like, do these hours go as quickly for you guys as they do for us? I mean, I'd really love to know. Or are you like, oh my God, when are they? I think Jeopardy's coming on soon. When are they doing
Yeah. No, it does. It feels like I'm like, oh, there was like so many other things I think I could say, but you know, it's
Go
been
for
so
it. Say them
beautiful.
all. Keep going. Say them
No,
all.
it's good. I'm like, you know, it goes so fast. Oh, I
Mhm.
could talk about this stuff forever. Like, there's so much to it, you know, there's so many pieces that it's like getting the puzzle and putting it together to make the picture that you want and to manifest the business that you want.
Well,
Like,
while
there's
you're at it, name a couple more pieces that we haven't named so far. Like, go for it.
well, it's,
You're
you know,
like,
it's
yeah,
really,
I'm sure you won't mind.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's, you know, the piece, like, there's so many moving pieces, but I think one that maybe we didn't touch on a ton yet was like, when you're like to attract ideal clients, obviously we talked a little bit about your brand and your message and your content and like really aligning that with really powerful offers that are
Right.
aligned with your client. But it's also then once you get or you attract the ideal client, the way to continue that momentum or to attract more ideal clients is to recognize that that one person, even if it's one person that's in your course or one person that is your client, making sure that you're energetically giving them the results that they ultimately want and the outcomes that they want. Because if one person, it just starts with one, if one person of your ideal client gets results,
Mhm.
that's 10 people that they may know that are also your ideal client because of who they are, like people in their power. You know, you have 10 people that they go and talk to and they share you with
Yeah.
because you've gotten them the results that they needed. Therefore, you become a magnet for the 10 people that are ideal clients as well, because we attract who
Ripple
we
effect.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we attract who we are, our client then also has 10 to 20 people that are like them because we attract who we are, right? So then it's like you get them results, you massively up level them in the gifts and expertise that you're standing for. And then next thing you know, they're a raving fan. Next thing you know, they're telling the other 10 ideal clients about you. And
Right.
and then you attract them through that one person. So it's like that compound, you know, effect of like, okay, you really massively shift one ideal client. Next thing you know, there's 10 people just like her because she attracts who she is. And then, you know, that's another like form of really seeing the weaves of how you can start attracting more and more ideal clients just through the power of one.
Yeah.
So it's like the results that you're getting them. And so one in Package Your Purpose, which is my upcoming program, that's the one where it's like really figuring out that offer that actually gets your client the results that they want and they seek. Because
Mm.
if you have that offer that's like massively shifting for your ideal client, which is different than like my ideal client is going to be different than possibly your ideal client. So it's me creating an offer that's so juicy for my ideal client that then that next time I launch that, or, you know, maybe it's even the one-on-one, like I have something that I draw people into and then they share the results or they get the results and the outcomes that they really want. And then they tell, you know, those 10 other people that are also your ideal client. And next thing you know, your next launch is doubled. And then the next launch is tripled. And the next launch is quadrupled because you're really creating a powerful offer that your ideal client just craves and really gets the results from.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
yeah,
good.
it's like that compound effect.
Yeah. That, oh my God, it's so true.
Yeah.
Victoria asked, so what advice do you give women to get in alignment with their messaging, such as I know several MLM women, some are friends, that feel so rigid in their messaging online, it feels off.
Yes. You know, when I first left network marketing and I first launched Jocelyn Vance coaching, that's all I did was work with network marketers, really a lot with network marketers in the beginning, and then obviously transition into the Awakened Soulpreneur, and now, you know, really work with all like online building soulpreneurs, right? So when I was working with solely network marketers, this is a huge thing that and it comes into play with coaches as well, but it's a huge thing of really recognizing that we are a personal brand.
Yeah.
People buy us. They don't buy our program. They don't buy our products in MLM. They don't even buy our business opportunity. People buy people. essentially. People buy us and who we are and what we offer and our gifts and expertise, because they see something in us, or there's a trust factor in us that they really want to rise to, or they feel like they can trust us to get them to that next level of where they want to go and the results that they're seeking. And that can be in health, it can be in real estate, it can be in, you know, building a business, it can be in manifesting, like there, whatever your thing is, you know, they're hiring you to get those results. So it's understanding that aspect first and foremost. I think there's so many network marketers that are trained to do things a certain way and to push a product or to push a business opportunity, or, you know, get your 20 messages in a day. And there's a system that's taught, and it's all very driven into a masculine energy that so many people do not align with, and it actually prevents flow from attracting your ideal clients, from attracting those ideal business partners, because it's not aligned, and you're not leading with your heart and who you truly are and what your actual message is with the world. You're leading with something that you're being taught to lead with. And there's a big difference. There's a big difference.
It's crazy. Like even hosting this Manifestival, I get messages where it's like, so tell me more about your business. What do you do? And I'm like, is it not obvious what I do? Yeah. Like, I don't know, maybe I need to work on my, you know, I help statement, but I'm pretty sure it says what I do. You know what I mean? Like that makes sense why it's like just get your messages out and then this percentage will convert to calls or whatever. And it's like not a very humane or human. Is that it? Humane. I'm getting beaten by those messages.
No, absolutely.
Like, there's not much of a human component to it, you know?
Yeah, and there's so many like different, like you think
Geico commercial has more human component than that.
Yeah, yeah. When you think about like, there's so many people doing the same thing, or like in network marketing, I mean, there's 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 reps, you know, promoting the same thing. Why are you different? Like, what do you stand for? Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Are you doing this because you want to make money off people? Like, are you doing this because, or are you doing this because you truly are aligned with the message, and you're truly not like, I feel aligned with it, I like the product. No, like on a core, authentic, true level, do you really have like that this is your mission and purpose in the world? Like, do you feel like this is what you're meant to be doing? Because I see so many get confused in their messaging and who they really truly are and why they're doing what they're doing, and it being aligned with their true purpose and their true mission and message that they want to share with the world. And that's the same with coaches as well. Like if we're, you know, there's so many different people that that are business coaches, or that are health coaches, or that are teaching manifestation, or teaching this or that or the other. And okay, so why are you different? Like, what makes you and your offers and your message different than all the other ones? And there's those key components that I think a lot of people missed, or they don't gain consciousness around, and they don't show up in that way. And
I've heard, like, cause Victoria said, I don't know if you wrote this, Victoria, before or after Jocelyn started it, because she said, so how would those in MLM get aligned with their messaging? And then, oh, okay, so you would have them dig deep also. Well, I've actually, one way that I learned was in, like, you know, you have the why that makes you cry, right? Like you ask why until like basically you're in tears about your purpose for what you're doing, right? So like, if I say, okay, well, I want to teach manifestation, right? And why would that be? Well, because a lot of, you know, I would basically keep answering those questions, you know, and then why is that important? Well, because of this and this and this. And then what does that do? And that, you know, and you just keep answering it until you get down into where that, you know, it basically brings out what your purpose is for starting this business. And then, you know, you're able to create your content from from that spot, like if you can always get back to that spot where like you're so emotional and heart-led about what you're doing, then you can like connect that with, you know, branching back out into what some of those answers were about why you were doing what you were doing and what it was meaning to you and what you went through and all of that.
Yeah, if you ever paid attention to like the emotional guidance system or scale, and you really think about like the top ones, you know, which is the highest vibration you can be in, which then obviously is going to attract, right? We're getting alignment and we start manifesting based off of our energetic vibration. And you look at the core top ones of the emotional scale, you can see and ask yourself, like, does my business give me these emotions? Do I have the energy behind it? Do I have the passion behind it? Do I feel aligned with this message? Do I feel confident in what I'm saying? Do I have a full belief that what I'm doing can truly help people or get people results or guide people? And sometimes that takes building confidence first and foremost and doing the scary thing. And sometimes it takes just getting started where you're at and not feeling you have to arrive somewhere before you're good enough to do it. But then it's also getting to know yourself and having that self-awareness around who you are. Because there's so many times that I work with people, and like some of the timeline therapy I do is around not being good enough, or you know, not feeling ready enough or good enough to do this. But when you really like hone them in to their message, the truth message, like what their true gifts are and their expertise, then you just see this like confidence, this light up, like this change of demeanor of like, oh yeah, like that feels good. Like I know that I can speak on that like all day long, and I'm so powerful in that space. And it's like, okay, that's, you know, that energy is very different than how you just showed up 5 minutes ago. You know, just feeling like icky or feeling like it's not a, you know, they don't really have the confidence in it. But when you really tune in to your core message and what you truly believe in at the soul level, at the heart level, you can speak like you could get up in front of millions of people and speak about, because you know it to be fact and true and you have a core belief in it.
Yeah.
That's where the magic sauce kind of comes into play. And there's a beautiful picture that you can create around those core things of your brand and your message and what you're sharing with people.
Yeah. Oh my God. So good. Can you do timeline therapy on me for like everything? I was just like, I mean, I am trained in timeline therapy, but like, I can't read the book and do it.
You can't do it yourself. No, it never works doing it yourself. I mean, I have in some ways, but it's definitely not near as effective. But yeah, timeline therapy is one of the most powerful modalities I use in one-on-one coaching.
Yeah.
But there is like this beautiful space of just very, very powerful questioning to raise consciousness and awakening that space that we can't do ourselves either. Like sometimes we just don't have that power in the questions to dig deeper and figure out how this fits into a beautiful picture of who I'm really meant to be helping, how I can really package these powerful offers in my purpose that my ideal client just gets results from and feel confident through that process. And sometimes it's just taking that step. It's just doing the fearful thing. It's stepping out of the comfort zone. And, you know, that's kind of where the magic sauce is.
Totally. Oh my God, I love it. Okay. So before we wrap up, Diane said, my challenge is providing info to ladies who do not want to join my group or go to my website. It's tough answering questions and messaging, but I don't want to alienate a potential client. So what would you suggest?
I think I get the question. So if this answer is not aligned with what you're asking, then you can maybe rephrase. But I think what she's asking is, how do you take people from like your inbox to like becoming a client? Is that how you interpreted that?
Well, I kind of interpret it like people, they want extra info, but they don't feel like joining her group or going to find out the answers on her website. So
okay,
like maybe it takes a lot of time to answer these questions in the messages, whereas they would already have been answered at some point in the group.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is Victoria. If she's still on, she's going to know that
2 second delay. So And if
Yeah.
you hear screaming in the background, I don't know what happened, but the dragon somehow woke up, woke up. So they're trying to beat my door
Well, I
down.
got my yard guy mowing right here. So if you hear
Oh,
like some mow, yeah. No, I would say for that, it's definitely taking them out of Messenger. So I personally coach my clients to get people out of Messenger and do like some sort of discovery call, or I call mine the Awakened Soul call. And it's basically just a 20-30 minute free call that you take them off Messenger, you get on the phone, you dive into what actually they want. You can use a lot of like really powerful things in those calls to close clients, sales psychology stuff and all that, but really like pulling people offline, connecting. Voice and Zoom is even better, like where you can actually see the person,
right.
and create, that space where you offer that complimentary 20-minute space where you bring them on and see exactly what they want, what they're desiring. You can walk them through all that process and then close them with a package or an offer on the call that matches the result that they're actually seeking. Now, do all of those convert? Of course not. Is sometimes you may get on and you don't get a client out of it? Absolutely. But I use those calls even just to determine if somebody's an ideal client for me to work with, because you can tell pretty quickly, like, do I really want to work with this person or not? Like, do I feel the vibes? Because if you don't feel the vibes as a coach, then, and you aren't aligned with actually guiding them, you're doing yourself and them a huge injustice by taking them on as a client, because it winds up being not fun.
Right. Yeah. 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 That's why it's so important, going back to what you said, to have a clear idea of what you can help them with and not overcomplicate it. You know what I mean? Like, I think I overcomplicated things when I was first starting out, because I'm like, I don't know what I could help people with, but really it comes down to, like you said, being that gentle observer of the thoughts coming through, your client's heads, and, talking them through the questions and pointing out, what are the things that you're seeing, and how is that, how can that be tweaked, or what sort of beliefs are underlying there that are holding them back, and, really identifying blocks, but also what lies under the surface that would totally obliterate them and push them out of the way too, but I could also have like way overcomplicated that, and I think that's one of our things as humans that we tend to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Everything.
I just saw Diane Lynn. Hey girl, I just saw her ask a question that I wanted to speak on real quick, because I think this is really powerful.
Oh yeah, because she sells cosmetics, right, Diane? Yeah.
Yeah, so she's got a physical product, and I know, there may be some network marketers that sell physical products, or maybe, you have a physical product. So if it's something where it's not like a personal service that you're offering, and you have something like that, something that's really powerful is if you have like the same questions coming up, or you see like people asking the same things or desiring to know the same things about your product, then you can either, she said, like a website, you could have like a FAQ type section on your website of all the most like powerful questions you're getting. Or something else you could do is create a video, which would even be more powerful. Show yourself, show your personality, build that trust, a powerful like FAQ video of all the most frequently asked questions about the product, or about what, the benefits of the product. It's like a health product, or with makeup, like, whatever the questions may be about, like, is it natural? Is there animal products in it? Whatever people are caring about that you're seeing that you're attracting, create a video that goes through all those things, and just have a space that you can either tag people or send people so they can get those answers very quickly. So you don't have to spend so many time in the inbox. Yeah.
Totally. And that's something that you could even do like once a week. You could do like a live stream, or on your Facebook page, or turn it into IGTV, and then link that. You can repurpose that same video on your website, so then there's like more traffic and SEO. But then also, Diane, you mentioned Pinterest, so you can turn them all into like your Pinterest pins and make them like your original pins, And
Yep.
those would be whatever, some of the top questions are, and link that to that video that you put in your frequently asked questions or on your Facebook. So you'll have a lot of action going on there.
Yeah, and that's a huge space of creating content too. Like any
Oh,
questions you're getting.
yeah, yeah. So Diane, for your Facebook business page, you would, I would only put it on there if you wanted to turn it into an advertisement later, but you could either do it on your personal page or your business page, either one. Both of them would provide a link that then you could, link back to your website, or just, reply to the person's message with that link saying, here's a video that I did on this entire line, and, whatever.
Yep. Yeah. And then just put all your like energy into it. Like all the ideal people that are just desiring to get your products and like really, really need this and want this are coming, and like visualize and meditate around this video and give all the energy into it, that these ideal people, like think about your ideal person when you're creating the video, when you're posting it, like all the vibes go into the video, so that it's like almost becomes in itself, outside of you, the video in itself becomes a magnet for your ideal clients as well, which is a powerful piece as well.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, she said the business page gets no action. Oh, she said, oh my gosh, the world just cracked open. Yay. Oh my God, I love that.
Yay. Love
Yeah,
that.
it's action without paying. That's why, like, I used to put a lot there, and I actually, funny enough, used to go live there, but I think it was subconsciously a way to stay hidden. So, but you could always do it on your personal page and then share the same video onto your business page and into your private group too. So you can multi-purpose it that way.
Yeah, and like you saying that, like we always have to be intentional about what our energy is, and intention is behind anything that we do. So if it's coming from a space of like hiding and not coming out, that's obviously not the right move, right? But if it's coming from a space of empowerment and like, this is really going to move my business forward and it's going to be a magnet for ideal clients, then it's like, okay, this is the thing I need to do for my business to make it easier on me, to make it more efficient. It's always like just looking at ourselves in the mirror and saying, where is our energy? Where's our stories and our thoughts around this? And where is our intention and focus? Because that's going to be what ultimately attracts or not, retracts or repels.
Right, right. Oh my God, I love it.
Yay. Awesome.
Okay. Well, cool. I think that's the end of the questions. So, okay, I have my special questions that I ask everybody. If you've been following along to the end, then you know what these are, So it'll go quick. What's your favorite way to celebrate?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, my favorite way to celebrate. Okay, so I would say my favorite way to celebrate is to dance. I like to like move my body, dance, booty shake, and then obviously me and my husband, we do a lot of celebrating with like going to like a really like high level restaurant, or doing a little like quick romantic getaway, or a little like something outside of our little like small town that feels high vibe and feels special and feels like this is kind of like my next level self. I always try and celebrate in the next level self realm. So yeah, that's really kind of the vibe I like to go for.
Love it. Okay. How many countries have you been to?
2. Yeah, United States. And then I only went on one cruise outside of the United States, and it went to Jamaica and the Bahamas.
Oh, so that's 3.
No, 3, yeah. So that's the only time I've gone out of the country. But this upcoming year is like the year of travel. Like we're really like honing in on, that piece, because it's definitely something that lights me up. So
cool. Yes, me too. So yeah, the reason I started asking these questions, because I think it's super cool to get to know all the speakers that come on and like add even more of like a human touch than just, hey, tell me about my clients. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. Yeah. I'm totally a booty shaker. Like I say, yes, booty shake. Yeah. That's like my vibe. If I could go to like, I'm totally like 37 years old, but if I could go like every once in a while and just go back to like my 22-year-old self where I'm like booty shaking in the club, like that would be life. And I still do, to the extent like live music, like that's just, my soul thrives there. So
yeah. Oh my God, totally. Hell, I will tell you guys a secret. So the last couple nights we have had a dance party by our 4-year-old and 2-year-old, and they asked for Whoop, There It Is. And the other song, oh, it was like a Sierra song. I'm like, okay, I can't send this to the in-laws.
No.
Judgment. Okay. Let's see. Next question. What's your next number one travel destination outside of the country?
We got Bora Bora on our list.
Ooh, that's not
or maybe
bad.
Maldives, somewhere where I'm like in a hut, like in the ocean's underneath me, and it's like blue emerald everywhere. Like I'm a tropical person.
Dude, I keep telling you, you guys need to do couples retreat. Like, that's where
that's on the plan. That's on the plan.
retreat, man.
Yeah,
Totally. All
that
right.
is totally in the plan. Yeah.
And then what is the best thing? Oh, wait, no, I skipped one. Jimmy Fallon or Justin Timberlake?
Ooh, Justin Timberlake.
Okay. Best thing you've ever manifested?
I'd say my husband, probably first and foremost. And then I would say probably my circle of influence, the ladies in my circle of influence that, for so long I felt like a loner in this world. Like after I left teaching, I actually got into a really dark space for a little bit. Like I had all this excitement and passion. Like I'm leaving my teaching career. Peace out. I built a 6-figure business. Like I'm the shit. I'm making it in life. And then it was like this huge crash because I no longer felt necessarily accepted, aligned, understood by my teaching community. And then I didn't really have anybody in this world yet that I really connected with. So and I'm such a people person, and I love contact and socializing. So that was a huge dark space. So manifesting my soul sisters in this space has been, you being one of them.
Yay. Oh my God, I love it. Totally. It's such a game changer too. I can't even put it into words. Totally. So, okay. What's your number one money affirmation that you go to?
It's not necessarily just money. It's on my wall. I always say I'm attracting a magnet of a life full of abundance of wealth, health, and connected relationships. Like that's the main thing. Or money flows to me easily and effortlessly on a daily basis. I say that.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, it's been a blend of all. So there's a couple of people who had a very similar. Yesterday, Lauren, hers was, what was that next level self that she wanted to be? And I think, Sasha, you said you write all yours out too, if she's still on. So.
I do have several that I write, but in my mind, and I didn't even get into this in this call, and we're not going here now, but orgasmic manifestation, totally different next level, but I go through several, in that space, and it's freaking powerful. But so that's a whole nother call.
Be sure to be on Friday with Kiera then, because I'm sure that'll get into that, because that's not I don't have as much experience in that department as obviously she does. I freaking every time she talks, I'm like but and you too. I know you guys were sharing the stories there. I love it.
That's all that that's a whole kind of next level of attracting ideal clients. It takes it a little next level, but
that'll be part 2.
Q in part 2.
I'll do the sexual manifestival.
I love it. I'm in for that one. I'm a speaker for that one. We do, me and Jim, my husband also coaches men. And we, just this very recently decided to launch a program together, the Conscious Couples Academy. And it's the first time we've ever launched it. It's very new for both of us, bringing kind of that merge of our business. But that's one thing that we're we get fired up about.
Oh my God. I know. Yeah, we're a part of your Conscious Couple. It blows me away. So we're getting caught up on last night because we took the kids to the beach and then passed out on the couch. But then
it's good stuff.
Oh good. Yeah, we're getting into that later tonight. So
yay.
But thank you guys so much. I'm so excited. This has been so good. And oh, yay. I love it. Yeah, Sasha says orgasmic manifestation is such a sexy thing.
Oh, it is.
So sexy. I love it.
Yeah.
And yeah, everybody says, oh, Diane said she wants to go to Alaska. The male-female ratio is in your favor for sure. And then, yeah, Elle says, love my soul sisters. And Diane says, me too, right? Soul sister.
Yeah.
Of course you are. Are you kidding me? Of course. I love this. This is so cool. So, well, that's it for tonight, you guys. Be sure to leave any questions that you have for Jocelyn. Oh, wait, no. Jocelyn, your special offer. We almost forgot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I have an upcoming program, Package Your Purpose. I know
you were talking about that during the thing, during our talk.
Yeah. So I'm offering anybody who's in this $99 off that program. I also have Soulful Impact, which is kind of like the prerequisite, like preface. You don't have to take it before Package Your Purpose, but it gives you kind of like that foundation moving into that to really nail down your ideal client and the 3 pillars of your brand and all that. And I'm offering that one as well. So $99 off of that one as well.
So good.
Yay.
So do you have, did you sent me a link for that too?
Yeah, I sent you the link for Package Your Purpose, but if someone wants or is interested in like Soulful Impact, which is like kind of like really figuring out who their ideal client is and who they are and how that, like the 3 pillars of your brand that we talked about, I'll also, grant $99 off of that one as well. So. Okay,
cool. So you guys can find Jocelyn there on the Facebooks and on the rather Facebook, right? Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, Facebook works probably best. Yeah, Facebook Messenger will be fine. And then I have the Awakened Soulpreneurs Facebook group. I'm not a huge Facebook group person in some ways, and in other ways I am. I do enjoy it, but actually like getting into my programs, I would do Facebook Messenger. But you can join my Facebook, free group. I will be going live and giving some value in there as well as we lead into Package Your Purpose. So.
Oh my God, guys, go join it. And I will put a link for, to Jocelyn's Facebook page in the email when it goes out too. So you can just hit that and then go to her messaging. So thank you all so much. I'm so excited. This has been so
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for everyone who attended live, or if you're catching the replay, thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thanks a million for choosing to push play on another episode of the Manifestation Queen podcast. You truly amazed me, and if this episode blew your mind, then please leave a 5-star rating and a quick review on iTunes so more people like you can become Manifestation Queens too. See you next time.